Good evening to one and all present here. On behalf of Team DPS Pune, I extend a very warm welcome to each one of you to this virtual art webinar. First ever for DPS Pune. And I'm sure this is going to be a memorable one. Because in this forum, we have our budding artists, philosophers, and thinkers who are just going to take us in a different world. You all are aware that despite the difficult times last year, our hardworking and sincere faculty worked very hard to keep this art moving ahead. As it is said, every child is an artist. The problem is staying an artist when you grow up, said Pablo Picasso. However, I am sure for our website, that wouldn't be a problem. Thanks to our Art First program. We believe in a learning environment that nurtures imagination, creative skills, and cultural awareness of children and educators. It is a pedagogical tool essential to facilitate creativity. The program draws inspiration from India's rich visual arts tradition. It highlights the significant contribution that these arts have played in India's history. The program provides children freedom to communicate their thoughts and express their individual creativity through art. It opens up their mind to different ways of thinking. In an ever-changing world where the future lies in innovation, children will be able to benefit only if we nurture this discipline today. Last year, again, I'll say, have been a very, very tough one for all of us. However, you know, we all have been able to move ahead successfully because of your support, teachers' hard work, and of course, the interest of the children. I therefore congratulate the staff and the students of all faculties who used various mediums of expression to present their ideas. As long as our ideas are expressed and thoughts kindled, we can be sure of learning, as everything begins with an idea. I appreciate every student who shared the joy of participation in this program throughout the year. I would request all the parents to further encourage their wards to continue participate wholeheartedly in this and any other initiative taken by the school towards the all-round development of your child. I would extend a warm welcome to our guest speaker, Mr. Sarup Biswas today. Thank you so much for being here. I'm sure you'll be very happy to witness what you're going to see now. It is the way children are going to speak. It is the way they are going to present, and their friends work in front of all of you. Congratulations to the parents who have just such amazing children. Congratulations to all the budding artists sitting in front of me. Very well done. And it'll be a total surprise for each one of us today. So let me not delay any further. And who's going to take us forward? It is Zainab Khan, class 1G. Kindly come forward and take this webinar forward. Thank you so much, parents. Thank you, everyone present here.
रंगों की उड़ान का देखो सुंदर इंद्रधनुष, रंगों की उड़ान का देखो सुंदर इंद्रधनुष, डीपीएस के प्रांगण में रच रहा है माया जाल, ख्वाबों की तहरीर से बुना है सुंदर जाल, गुड़िया के है लाल गाल, आसमान के भी रंगे है ताल, देखो रंगों की ये दुनिया का अजब गजब है हाल, देखो रंगों की ये दुनिया का अजब गजब है हाल, कल्पनाओं के कैनवस पर सपने सुंदर लेकर आया यह साल.
Good evening, parents, teachers, children, and all the well-wishers attending the webinar this evening. I'm Joyita Talapatra, and it's my pleasure to be your host this evening. The webinar you are attending today is an amalgamation of art made by the children of grade 1, 2, and 3. Since this year has seen us teach and learn through a multitude of digital media, it seems befitting to have the collection of artwork on display in an online exhibition. I now request Mrs. Nandini Banik to open the webinar with a brief introduction.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Art Webinar 2020-21. Though this year and the last have been turbulent and filled with uncertainty, it has only added wonder to the complex beauty life has to offer us all. Our little artists in school too have been busy exploring their curiosity for life's many mysteries and finding ways to express themselves. We believe in the ability to nourish positive mental health by allowing a child to show individual uniqueness. The National Education Policy 2020 too has been designed keeping in mind the need to preserve individuality of a child. A cross-curricular approach to learning has already been implemented in schools across India. Rather than instructing students, we too believe in letting their ideas take wing. Art is no longer treated as just a creative pursuit in schools today, but rather used as a means to help children learn other subjects too. Young people are being taught that art connects to the world around them. This last year have seen the children pour their thoughts and feelings onto paper like never before. Though the pandemic has physically restricted the little ones to the enclosure of their homes, their imagination explores limitless possibilities. The result of letting children make art on their own terms has been a heady mixture of wild imagination and creativity. We invite you to experience it with us today. The webinar this evening lovingly weaves together the art made by our students from grade 1, 2, and 3 this year. Thank you.
We know that art is important for children. Art adds to our personality and makes us uniquely human. The students of DPS Pune have blossomed into fine thinkers over the years, guided gently by Art First program. The Art First program puts its entire faith into the ability of children to learn from self-exploration. It believes in separating the idea of talent from creativity. When a child draws a picture, paints a portrait, or uses scissors to cut shapes, that child is beginning to communicate visually. A child may draw to document an actual experience like playing in the park, release feelings of joy by painting swirling colors, or share an emotional experience like the death of a loved one through art. Art goes beyond verbal language to communicate feelings that might be left unexpressed. Through carefully planned projects, we have been able to go back in time to prehistoric cave paintings and jump back in time to pull up splashes. We have traveled to Europe and peeked into Van Gogh's bedroom and discovered the magic of Raza's Bindu. We have learned that a child does not have to create a masterpiece to have a meaningful artistic experience. Art is a process, not a product. It has been tempting to want our children to turn out perfect, to prove that they are successful. But it's reassuring now to know that we can relax as parents and teachers. Where art is concerned, it is the process of creating, exploring, discovering, and experimenting that has the greatest value. Rangon Ki Udan celebrates this very essence of self-expression and creativity. It's an attempt to capture the vibrant imagination of each and every child's mind and present it to their loved ones. I would like you to accept this invitation of our children into the universe of infinite possibilities and view it through an orthodox lens. It is with a happy heart that I welcome you all here this evening for our very first online exhibition, Rango Ki Udan. Thank you.
Thank you for the curatorial note, ma'am. We now head to the first segment of the art webinar that showcases the art of grade 1. I invite Sonakshi Das of grade 1 to discuss the first project for the evening.
Good evening, dear parents, teachers, and my dear fellow mates. My name is Sonakshi Das. I am here to talk to you about the first project of this evening. But first, I have a poem for you. Look out of your window, what you see. Let your imagination run wild and free. Perhaps elephants have wings and birds can swim. And rivers can talk and geese can sing a hymn. Oh, the window feels like a TV screen with butterflies, ladybirds, and bumblebees. There's some magic you can always see. If the world was only black and white, there would be no rainbows, blue sky, or golden sunsets. Wouldn't it make you really upset? Aren't we so fortunate to have so many colors that make a world so beautiful? Our bright, colorful gardens invite you all with outstretched arms to take a walk. Look at the trees, touch the smooth leaves, smell the sweet scent of flowers, and feel the soft grass. The next two projects are called Window with a View and Colorful Garden. Come, let's take a peek at the artworks made in our art class. Thank you.
That was a lovely presentation indeed. We have up next another student of grade 1 to discuss his experience of working on a folk art project.
Hello everyone, I am Sian Gupta and I am here to talk to you about our folk art project. In this project, we studied the Wali painting. Did you know the Wali people are a tribal community? They live in the Thane district of Maharashtra. So, Wali painting is simply the art created by the Wali people. They use geometric shapes in their paintings. They like to use lots of circles, triangles, and squares. The Wali people love nature and they paint many different animals, birds, and trees. They often paint activities like hunting, fishing, farming, and dancing. The Wali men and women love to sing and dance. Wali painting is really simple and fun to make. So, in class, we learned to make Wali art. We made people, trees, hills, animals, and houses. We used many sizes of triangles, squares, circles, and semicircles. We had lots of fun making Wali paintings with the help of shapes. We also used lots of lines and patterns in the painting. Come, I will show you our Wali paintings.
I now invite Mrs. Minakshi Bharadwaj, a parent of one of our students from grade 1, to share her thoughts with us.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Minakshi Bhardwaj. I am mother of Aryansh Bhardwaj from Standard 1. I would be sharing my views today, not only as a parent, but also as a psychologist and as a Tanjore artist myself. Me and my husband, we are the 80s parents, and we have grown up with the without the magic wand of internet and iPads. So for us, mugging up has been the only form of learning. Even in arts, you see, I'm sure most of us parents would remember that nature painting of a village, which always had the sun rising between the mountains, a river flowing beneath. But if you compare it with the current generation, rote learning is a taboo for them. These kids have access to the world thanks to the internet. They crave for new information and they need an answer for every question, however silly it may sound. Like when my son Aryansh draws a picture of sun, he would always ask, Mama, is it red inside and yellow outside, or is it yellow inside and red outside? And most importantly, why? Why is that so? And imagine all this coming from just a 6-year-old child. You see, many researchers and studies have realized that art is a form of science, and it has always been instinctive to humans. Archaeologists have found cave paintings which are much older than the invention of wheel. But in today's day and time, in order to achieve anything in subjects like mathematics and science, it is believed that the child should think out of the box and be creative in problem solving. And thankfully, online classes have virtually brought the school to our homes. And that has given us parents a very vital access to see the learning progress and process of our children. That too firsthand. Sitting with my son through the art classes, I have realized that schools teaching of art is not principally to make kids to learn how to draw, but it's really about getting kids to think creatively and getting them to express themselves. From a simple thought of making a bus from popsicle sticks to a view from the window to a world with no colors and only shades of gray, it's amazing to see how teachers come up with a curriculum that not only balances individual creativity, but it also helps in building their confidence and self esteem. As a psychologist, I believe that the methods used by teachers at DPS are more of process art, which is an open ended form of art. That means the sky can be pink, and the rivers can be flowing with melted chocolate, and the houses can be in the shape of a cupcake. It might sound very weird to us, but at the cognitive level of a child, it's a blast of neurons in his brain because he's never seen a sky like that. He's never seen a river flowing with chocolate. So that empowers him with imagination. And this method, it is there is no end to what a child can create. It's an endless creation. And in that sense, I think it's a great tool for us parents to be able to understand what is going through our child's mind. Personally, in last 1 year, there's been a noticeable progress in Arinsh's personality. And we believe that art has helped my son to be much more expressive and confident. Such has been his transformation from a shy boy in the class that now he's capable of creating an impromptu story just by looking at a picture. And this creativity is not limited to drawings. He uses Lego to create real and physical models just on his imagination. And that too without using any manual, which is something even we as his parents cannot manage to do. I might have spoken longer than my scheduled slot, but I would end it with extending my heartfelt gratitude to the principal ma'am and to all the teachers of our class who have worked tremendously hard around the clock to make everyday sessions full of fun, learning, and creativity. Lastly, thank you so much for listening to me patiently.
Thank you, Mrs. Bharatwaj. This next segment will display the artwork of the students from grade 2. I now invite Vivan Bakchi of grade 2 to introduce the next project with us.
Hello everyone, my name is Vivan Bhakti and I would like to take you through my learning journey of dot as a negative space. Art is one of my favorite subjects. I think differently in art class and I also have many questions to ask my art teacher when I'm learning art. I feel art makes me look at the world differently. I have learned to see things which I could not have seen before. I have now learned to observe the tiniest of details. We had used a lot of this observation in our next project that talks about dots. When we were learning about dots, it opened up my mind and I started looking at the dots with interest. I started looking for new ways how dots can be done. In the dot project, we did an art class identified dots in my surroundings, and looked at a dot as a negative space. I asked myself, could a hole be a dot? A hole that remains stationary but becomes different objects. A hole that goes deeper and deeper inside the earth. A hole that is home to different animals. There can be so many examples, like the purr of a rabbit, the snake's hole, the hole made by a woodpecker, the hole of a tunnel, and the water pipe. The project, Dot as a negative space, opened up my imagination.
Let us call upon Shania Dhamija to share the next project.
Good evening, one and all. My name is Shanaya Dhamija, and the topic is Bad Hair Day. Those were brilliant works of art, weren't they? Now I'm going to take you all on the journey of lines. I was making a drawing the other day, and I discovered something. I looked around. I could see lines all around me, and it seemed to me as if each line was saying something to me. The horizontal line gives the feeling of being at rest. The vertical line gives the sense of height, and the squiggly lines convey energy, while thin line express a delicate look. Thick line adds more drama to the artwork. Tell me, have you had a day when your hair felt lumpy and you just couldn't manage it? Have you ever had a bad hair day? If you have, you know how annoying a bad hair day can be. But in art class, we have turned a bad hair day into a happy moment by looking at hair and using different types of lines in a new way. Using different types of lines and lots of imagination, we have created and drawn our own new hairstyle. You will see many different patterns and styles of lines in our artworks. Let's go see our next project, Bad Hair Day.
Viva Chanodia is here to share her thoughts and feeling related to our next project.
Hello, dear parents, teachers, and my friends. I am Viva Chinodia. It gives me pleasure to share a few of my thoughts and feelings related to our project Metascape. You must be wondering, what is this word Metascape? Let me tell you a little about it. There was an Indian painter by the name of Akbar Padamsi. Akbar Padamsi loved to paint landscapes. When he painted, he tried to balance modern art and Indian philosophy. He called these paintings metascapes. Inspired by his metascapes, our teacher took us on an imaginary journey. She shared with us that the earth is a marvelous creation, from dry deserts to lush green rainforests, from swelling oceans to cloudy skies. The earth provides endless inspiration to us. In this landscape project, we could choose to paint our own vision of the earth in a different way. Here, we try to understand light and shadow, hues and tones, size and shape. We carefully selected colors to add emotion to a work of art. We could choose wild, unnatural color schemes that are striking to the eye and mind. We were given lots of freedom to rearrange living and non living shapes in a scene. The results were magical. No one could tell if our landscapes were real or if they were imaginary. We learned that when it comes to art, the possibilities are as endless as our imagination. Now, I would like to share our compositions beautifully woven into a presentation for you.
That was a beautifully accomplished project by the students of grade 2. We have here the parent of a student from grade 2, Dr. Gauri Khirsagar, who will share her thoughts with us.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Gauri Shirsagar, mother of twins Ashmi and Avanti, who are in class 2. And I was asked to speak a few words about our art journey last year. The past year has been personally challenging for us as parents, juggling work and childcare in a time of uncertainty that has tested us as a family in unprecedented ways. One of the things that kept my children preoccupied during this period was art. When we think of school and learning, the first things that come to mind are subjects like math, science, and reading. So when the online classes started last year, I had this fear that as school systems try to make up for lost learning, art subject will be on the cutting block. But that was absolutely not the case. DPS Pune has given equal importance to art, music, and dance during this whole virtual year. I got a first-hand experience on how art classes are conducted in DPS. Every week, 1 hour was specifically dedicated to artwork activities, be it paintings, craft, art appreciation, or even digital art in ICT. Creative concept discussions like dots and negative space have given the kids ability to think outside the proverbial box, to string two unrelated ideas together in a new way. For example, the book with the whole project made them think around the concept that a whole remains stationary but becomes different objects based on which they had to make up a story with twists and turns. This project made them look for art in everyday things like a donut or a balloon or even a paratha. There was also this art project called Lekha and Lucky, where they had to use simple artistic lines like straight, curved, or angular to bring a story to life. This gave them a method of telling a story without using words, and it was exciting for them to feel like they have their own secret non-verbal language. Creating art was like a stress buster for us as a family, especially fun projects like Crazy Hair Day, which was hilarious. Then there was Noodle Monster. My twins, they were competing with one another as to whose monster would be the most scariest. Then we had Inky Strings, where at the end, when they opened their paper fold, they were astonished to find a mirror image of their paintings. The whole year was filled with this amazing art activities, be it paper mache, art using rangometry, or the Pipli applique and patchwork from Orissa, origami, many, many more. You can see them here on my background. All of them I've put up here. So I don't have enough time to enumerate them all, but I do have to mention the year-end art appreciation project Metascapes by Akbar Amasi, using only primary colors, which took us about 2 days to complete. The kids were thrilled to learn a new technique of using palette knives and discovering new shades only using red, yellow, and blue. I feel becoming involved in various art, music, or dance projects has helped the students become more mindful of the beautiful things around them. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the teachers for educating and empowering our children. The way you teach different concepts without any physical presence is truly commendable. It is rightly said, where there is a will, there is a way. Indeed, in these most challenging times, where uncertainty has been at its peak, DPS Pune has ensured our child's learning journey is certain. Thank you for having me today on this wonderful art webinar. I'm very much humbled. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Khirsagar. The next project this evening is the contribution of our brilliant students of grade 3. Kiana Kulkarni from grade 3 will introduce the next project with us.
Hi there. What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? I'm sure it's not one, not two, but many thoughts you are thinking at the same time. Our mind is always working, isn't it? We are constantly thinking all the time. Sometimes my thoughts are about a book I read recently, or what clothes I want to wear on my birthday, or about my favorite food. And at other times, I have deeper thoughts. Who am I? Why was I born in this world? Why are my parents and friends important to me? Why do I get angry or jealous? In art class, we sat down and had a good thought about all these thoughts that come and go. I made an outline of myself and composed a collage of my thoughts in it. I also drew my favorite belongings and things I like to do and colored the background using my favorite colors. Our teacher said we could also take an old magazine and use cutouts to make a collage inside. I was surprised how much I could express myself by making a collage of my thoughts. I can see you curious about this project. Shall we go take a look at the artworks then?
Shomili Mohanty, let's hear from you now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here to talk about an artist who is loved all around the world. His name is Vincent van Gogh. The red-haired, shy, and sensitive Vincent was born in Netherlands. He had a rough life filled with big and small, sad incidents. He remained poor all his life and could sell only one painting in his life. Though he suffered from a gloomy, lonely life, his paintings are bright and sunny. I am sure you have seen his paintings, Starry Night and Sunflowers. He has painted many fascinating self-portraits too. He used oil colors, watercolors, pencil and ink to paint. His painting, The Bedroom, in Arles at the Yellow House, is one of his best loved works. Inspired by Van Gogh's painting of his bedroom, we painted our favorite place in our homes. We observed all objects in the room and the play of light and shadows. We added patterns and designs wherever needed. and filled in expressive colors. The paintings we made turned out to be beautifully original. Here is a tribute to our beloved Vincent van Gogh.
Shinjini Mittal, over to you for our next project.
Hello there, what a lovely evening this is. Before we move on to see the artwork of our next project, I would like to ask you, how many of you remember the stories you were told as a child? You do remember them all, don't you? In art class, we learnt about a folk art style called Patachitra that tells you stories through painting. This traditional style of painting comes from Odisha and West Bengal. Patachitra paintings are splendidly colorful and have creative motifs and designs. The themes painted in a Patachitra are taken from folk stories and mythological stories. We had an opportunity to make our very own Patachitras in art class. Our art teacher guided us to make a paper scroll with the story of our choice. We divided the scroll into different parts so that our scroll narrated the story scene by scene. We gave our paintings borders and decorated them with floral designs. This project took a very long time to finish, and we learned we have to be patient and focused to complete it. I proudly present to you our next project, the Patachitra painting.
Let us all hear from Kashish Sanda. Child, over to you now.
Thank you, ma'am. Hello, my name is Kashish Sanda. Like all of you, I have also been at home this whole year. I have been longing to step outside the house. Though I wasn't allowed to do that. I have found a corner at home which has become my favorite place now. From this cozy corner, I sat and gazed outside my window that opened out into the world. I could see a big, beautiful world of colors. I could see chirping birds and hear the soft rustle of trees which made scary sounds when a strong wind passed through the branches. The outdoor scene looked greener, cleaner, and peaceful with no people outside. Our art teacher asked us to observe our surroundings and capture the quiet beauty outside our windows. For our project, My Neighborhood, we captured our neighborhood by observing it minutely. We captured dark skies and silent roads. Some of us drew a park, a pool, a fence running around our building, while others of us drew a parking lot full of sleeping vehicles. Each window had curious view to offer. Shall we go take a peek at the artworks now?
The creative energy of the children of grade 3 truly serves an inspiration to us all. As an art educator, we have realized that the role of a parent is a significant one in nurturing the creativity of the child. To elaborate on this experience, I invite Mrs. Kanisha Kulkarni, a parent of one of our students, as our next speaker.
Thank you, ma'am. As a parent of a proud dipsite, Kiana Rana Kulkarni, I could see how the lockdown and study from home made our children and their teachers change the way education and learning and wisdom was imparted. I often overheard the many discussions that the teachers had with the students as each activity unfolded. They were engaging not just in learning something new, but also making sense of the new normal. The artwork was an initiative that let the students share what they were feeling and experiencing. Who am I? This artwork led to us having deep, heart to heart conversations with our children and gave us parents insights into these bright minds bubbling with thoughts and ideas. It brought us closer in more ways than one. Patachitra, an art form long lost in my childhood, was brought back with such fervor that we parents relived stories from the days gone by. And it filled our children with newfound appreciation of our Indian heritage and culture. I would like to thank all the teachers and principal ma'am for invoking this thought process, an immense love for art, and for using these activities to open our children's hearts and minds and making them better citizens of the world. I would like to close by quoting our now dearest painter, Vincent van Gogh. It is good to love many things, for therein lies the true strength. And whosoever loves much, performs much, and can accomplish much. And what is done in love is well done. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mrs. Kulkarni, for sharing your thoughts with us this evening. I now turn to Mrs. Nidhi Jaiswal to proceed with the next segment of our program.
Thank you, Joyita ma'am. Dear children, there is someone special amongst us today. I'm happy to convey to you we have Mr. Swaroop Biswas with us. Mr. Swaroop Biswas has completed his graduation in Fine Arts from GCA, Lucknow, and has resided in Pune for numerous happy years. His pursuit of expressing deep emotions in his art remains constant and full of passion. He has come a long way in his journey as an artist, a journey which he calls a roller coaster ride. He has been inspired by three great artists, Ganesh Pine, Picasso, and Badrinath Arya. But the greatest of his inspirations have been the people and the world around him. He explores different sides and sometimes entirely different human beings caught in the same body and is intrigued by the possibilities and complexities of the human psyche. He often paints masks, which is a recurring theme in recent times. Mr. Biswas is a keen observer of life as it happens. He is fond of vivid colors, and there is a simplicity in the imagery used by him. He has participated in numerous shows all over the country and abroad. He indulges in work of photography, design, and theater too. We are grateful for your presence, Mr. Biswas, and welcome you to share your thoughts with us this evening. Thank you so much, sir.
Hey, thanks a lot. That was a wonderful intro, and yes, this is a very wonderful experience. In fact, I have seen a lot of school presentations about the works, and I can definitely say as much you do is less. Art specifically, if you ask me, is not a subject. It is an inherent capacity, and its capacity. Everyone has this capacity. It's the basic structure of visualization, and this ability actually helps you in all possible endeavors, and everything that you do. It might be science, it might be mathematics. You will be surprised how much mathematics actually depends on arts. And I also didn't know that, because I was scared of mathematics all my school years. And yeah, I used to run away from mathematics quite a bit. But now I have some mathematician friends, and the amount of visualization that goes in mathematics, it amazes me. Mathematics is nothing like what we do in our junior classes, or even say high school, or in our secondary course material. But mathematics is a lot more than that. And same goes for physics, same goes for chemistry. A lot of visualization goes in that. And as soon as you get out of the predictable structure of education, where you are being told or taught something which has been taught by somebody else before, and you start exploring unknown, which is not in the book. So say you chart a space like a scientist, or just I said like mathematician, and very similar to people who have done research for COVID vaccine. A very basic understanding. Imagine that. How did they come to the conclusion of vaccine in 2 stages? It was like ball pitching twice. And they figured, because this vaccine is done in 2 stages. In 1 stage, this vaccine doesn't work. And every time they gave this vaccine, it was failing because the virus was too powerful. And if they left it powerful, it was impacting the body in a very bad manner, worse manner. And body was not able to recover making antibodies. So they just had an idea, what if we do a slingshot? What if we do another pitch? So that's how this second shot of vaccine came into play. I mean, it's a trivia, but what I am talking about is ability to visualize. So even for a scientist, the ability to visualize is so damn critical, and comes from art. And that is one thing I would definitely specifically to the parents who are listening, teachers who are listening, is experience is a massive part of growing up. And for me, if you ask me right now, that is the key. I mean, even today I go for experience. What can I experience? Because that's all that remains, and that's the best teacher in the world. And also one area, also I think somebody else also spoke about it in the middle, the cognitive load, the ability to handle cognitive load, how much, and that differs for every mind, each mind. And if that is spoken about, discussed, and also collaborated within the school, within teachers, within all possible people, because there are so many learned people working so hard in schools, and if those minds can collaborate and just work on this one aspect, because I saw so many presentations, and these kids are so, I mean, they have so much energy in them, and they are observing. In fact, you only said in the beginning that the internet has widened their options so much, how much they are able to observe and grasp. And that is, see, there is two sides to that. I mean, all coins, each coin has 2 sides. So it is an overload of information, and the information is so much. And I have a 9-year-old kid in my home, so my daughter keeps asking questions, and so many of those questions are about conflict. There is so much of conflicting information that they're getting on internet from different kind of sources. Internet is overloaded with information, right and wrong. How do you filter that? So that is an enormous cognitive load on each child, every child. We think more information is good, but we had one psychologist parent speaking right before. You have really such a wealth of parents who have such diverse, different diverse backgrounds. You can definitely ask them, use their experience as well. And that load, the information overload is so much, there is a lot of conflict as well. There is a lot of judgment also in terms of art, in terms of knowledge, all of it put together. So that is one area which our current generation of teachers, our current generation of all educators and parents, of course, need to be very watchful for. Because these young, impressionable minds, they have so much, ability to grasp. But that overload can be really fatigued, very, very fatigued stuff. Too much of it getting loaded. One aspect which I want to put together is the physical aspect of art. I have seen some curriculums, and I'm pretty sure that your curriculum would be also covering that. Is the base nature of structure like hand-eye coordination, which is a practice-oriented thing, and that is like a structure, a base of a structure. You put that foundation, a hand-eye coordination, and also ability to visualize what you can visualize. I think somebody also mentioned the skies can be violet, and I don't remember names, I'm very sorry, but I did listen to that aspect as well. But why the sky should be violet? I mean, that question must be entertained. Why sky can be violet? There are auroras. If you go in Norway or in some parts of Canada, also you can see those violet skies. They are not dreams. And what you can dream about? Can you go beyond the box? We keep on saying out of box thinking, but what is really out of box? What is that box? If you ask me, breaking that box and thinking out of that box, of entire people actually be capable of doing that. We normally create a periphery, a limit to our thinking. That is where I think the main challenge lies, to enable, to make children, all the kids believe that there is no limit. Limit is just you creating your own limit and the belief system, what you can do. So art is a way of life. It is not just a thing to create and what you create. It's the ability to express, ability to communicate using a medium. And that medium can be anything. It's a physical thing. It's a pencil, pen, paper, sculpture, Play-Doh, anything, color, and ability to use this material to communicate, to visualize, to bring what you have thought to life in any possible manner. And then you start solving problems. You start impacting the world in a different way. So when I go to a place where I am asked for a problem, I am contributing to a solution. I am solving it. So I'm just not one artist who is just doing something because I like to do. I'm solving problems, and very complicated problems, complex problems, which are not able, one person who is thinking within a box, within a pattern, is not able to solve those problems. That's what an artist can do. the thinking out of box, breaking those boundaries. And it starts with you, of course. What better place to start than a school and the impressionable minds? And of course, you are doing such a big job, and all the teachers, my salute to you. You are doing, I think, the most important job of any country, that is to educate young minds, your generation, and absolutely, I respect that. Any questions that you have, I would be here to answer.
A stimulating exchange of thoughts from Mr. Swaroop Biswas, our guest artist there. We have a question and answer session lined up next that will see our students share their thoughts on art and its intricacies. My first question is to Tanvi Sinha, a grade 3 student. Hello, Tanvi.
Hello, ma'am.
How does it feel to see your artwork in an online exhibition today?
It's an amazing feeling to see my artwork in an online exhibition. I really feel lucky. I feel somewhat chosen, and there is a huge feeling of excitement and relief during this corona pandemic that I could share my talents and my painting with others. This feeling boosted my self-confidence to perform better in my next artwork.
Who is your favorite artist?
My favorite artist is Vincent van Gogh.
Which is your favorite painting by Vincent van Gogh?
My favorite painting by the artist Vincent van Gogh is Starry Night.
And why do you like this painting?
Vincent van Gogh painted Starry Night in 1889. It is an oil canvas painting. I like this painting because blue, my favorite color, dominates the painting, blending hills into the sky. If you notice the brush strokes for the sky, they swirl, each stroke rolling with the clouds around the stars and the moon. It conveys strong feelings of hope through the bright lights of the stars shining down over the village.
Thank you, Tanvi. I now have a question for Arnav Misra. Hello, Arnav.
Hello, ma'am.
We have seen many paintings today. Amongst them all, which one is your favorite project?
Ma'am, my favorite art project is Pattachitra.
And why do you like this project so much?
While working on my Pattachitra art project, I put together a sequence of colorful paintings to narrate a story about the lion and the clever rabbit. This artwork enabled me to combine my storytelling hobby with artwork. It helped me to be more imaginative by creating pictures which speak everything about the story.
Thank you, my dear children, for answering our queries. It has been a delightful to hear from you this evening. We couldn't possibly move on from here without giving you a peek into what the artwork made by children in the previous academic session looked like. Can we see them, please? I request Ms. Sanjana Shelke to conclude the webinar.
Thank you, ma'am. It is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks and acknowledge the contribution of those who worked relentlessly to make this webinar possible. Our love goes out to the entire Art First team for helping us explore ourselves through the years as art educators and students. I extend thanks to Mr. Swaroop Biswas, who spared time from his busy schedule to grace the occasion. The title slides were brilliantly illustrated by our 9th grade student, Akshit Kumar. May you continue to make us proud, Akshit. I express my gratitude and congratulations to all the student, parent, and teacher speakers. I also extend thanks to all the staff members for the backed by a team of dedicated ICT teachers. A special mention to our respected principal, Mrs. Neelam Chakrabarti, for being the catalyst that stimulated us to do our best. We thank Mr. Sanjeev Kumar for being the art connoisseur he is and instilling the love for the arts in teachers and students alike. An event like this cannot happen overnight. The wheel started rolling weeks ago. And with a deep sense of appreciation, we thank our loving art teachers for their untiring efforts. I would also like to thank our technical arrangement team, especially Mr. Mirajuddin Ansari, who worked behind the scenes. Our sincere gratitude to all parents and well-wishers for your support. Thank you so much for being there today. Finally, a big shout out to our budding artists that made this exhibition such a success. Of hard work were evident in your artworks. I close today's session by wishing everyone a very happy Holi. Please do remember to celebrate safely. Thank you.